tagging her in this too. So however she acting, that's on her. What you watching, mommy?
Seeing what the aircraft for you.
Oh yeah. See, hey, I'm posting this too.
Baby,
I'm posting this. Give me a kiss, so don't act like that. Give me a kiss.
Her number just got retired at her high school. Y'all are both in your prime in your careers. What's going on? 20K bond is just not enough. Leave him in there. That man has some serious crazy eyes. If he gets let out, I think he might either harm himself or go back to harming her. He just got that look. If you know, you know.
It's literally just like the Sharon Moore situation. It's like, let me work my whole life to achieve a goal and make millions, and then as soon as I get there, let me do something stupid to ruin it all. Like, why do they do this? Why do they do this? The only difference is that this time, there's no cheating scandal, but you are participating in domestic violence with a beautiful young lady. She wants to break up with you after 3 years, reasonably so. And you decide to try to contact her from different numbers, won't leave her alone. Then y'all are driving, you crash your car into her car multiple times, trying to get her to stop. You could have unalived her, you could have unalived yourself, or the both of y'all in doing that, because this is not bumper cars. What are you doing? And it's like anything except being a good man the first time. I'm not going to be a good man the first time to ensure the woman that I like stays in my life. I'm going to keep doing dumb stuff and just assume she's going to give me chance after chance after chance. And then be surprised when she don't and want to crash out when she wants to leave and then ruin my career. Even though it literally just got started. He literally just got drafted. So now I just ruined my whole career.
Running your car into somebody 3 times, that's acting crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
And then, once again, doesn't listen to officers.
Is it a deadly weapon, a car? I think when you're actually attempting to either take somebody out, take them off the road, or disable their car, I would think it is, because we all know that when cars hit cars, sometimes people end up really hurt. Everybody, thank God, lucky. Not another car, not somebody on a sidewalk. Nobody got hurt. That's all well and good. That thing in December or in 2023 in Tennessee, that's jaywalking compared to this. That's getting out of jaywalking. And part of it is when you get out of something like that, you kind of go, okay, this is not immaturity. That's the only thing I won't let somebody do. I'm reading about, he's just a kid and this is immaturity. That is so beyond my comprehension. And by the way, he reached my minimum bar for being a piece of blank. Because I understand, and it's not that I have daughters, but I have daughters. If there is this idea of no means no, and this idea of you stay away from me, and if the courts or anybody had to get involved and you still do this, that's not immaturity. That's criminal. So let's cut that out in my world. Don't bring it up in front of me. You can put it on Twitter and you can keep me out of any argument that includes, this is immaturity, because it's not.
And she's driving to the police station, and according to the reports, he intentionally collided into the rear of her vehicle with his SUV. As she got near the intersection, cut her off with his car. And when she attempted to back out and get away, once again, used his car to collide with hers head on. They are so fortunate, everybody involved here, that nobody's dead.
Yep.
Number one, I don't know how many people remember Danny Heatley driving a car that he clearly couldn't handle, and he lost control of the car, and it killed one of his teammates. You're driving one of these Lamborghini SUVs. I'm assuming at the age of 22, you're not really that good of a driver. You're not really supposed to be handling a car like this. You're lucky you didn't kill yourself. You're lucky you didn't kill her or anybody else driving recklessly. And then you're lucky the police didn't kill you, because from what we understand, at least one of them drew a gun. So you're very lucky across the board. Now, will that luck pay off as far as your career is concerned? I don't know. I just am not so sure he's ever going to play here again.
Man, look, I don't know where to start, but let's talk about it. So, James Cecil Pearce Jr., he's going to get cut. He's going to get cut by the Falcons, bro. He's going to get cut. I will be surprised if he's still on the team by next season. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. Now, let me tell you something. On NCAA, dog was a killer. In real life, he was a killer. But he had a bunch of red flags, character issues, this, that, and the third. Then goes into the league. There's no issues and no problems during the season. He don't have an issue nor a problem, no nothing. And then in the off season, you want to act a goddamn fool. Brother, you are in Atlanta. Like, it's like, I think my dad told me it's like 10-1. Like, brother, you could, I ain't gonna say you're gonna find another Rickea Jackson, but you may find somebody that looked just as good as her. You know? I get it, brother. You probably was in love, or you thought you was in love, or whatever. I get it, but not to this point. Not to this point. Hell no. Ramming your Lamborghini yours? Like ramming her car? Nah. Hell no. Nah, bro. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how good she treated you. I don't care, bro. But to ram your car into somebody else, you doing way too much. You doing way too much. Now, this is how I believe it's gonna play out. I believe they will knock down a lot of the charges. They'll go from felonies to misdemeanors. He'll do a bunch of community service. He'll pay for the cops' medical bills and all this, that, and the third. Like, I can see that happening. I can see that. His lawyer, if his lawyer is decent, that's what's going to happen. And it's crazy because it's like, you did all that for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you did all that for what? But he had 5 felonies. 5. But it's probably going to get knocked down to like 5 misdemeanors. Or 4 misdemeanors, and then he's going to have to figure out something with the cop. So, that's crazy.
Okay, this Rickea Jackson and James Pearce situation is crazy. It's interesting. I was trying to wait until I got more details to like report about it, but you know, this is interesting. I don't know how much of it is true, but it's interesting. So I saw that James Pearce Jr., he plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Literally, I think he was a rookie this year. He got drafted. And people saw that he was with Rickea when he got drafted. So they're like, oh, like they're dating. Oh, that's cool. Like, you know, people love a good celebrity couple. So apparently people saw that he got arrested and she didn't seem like herself. So people were speculating like, yo, what is going on? Apparently he was, you know, somewhat abusive, and the last straw was him ramming his car and like to her car while she was trying to get to the police. Then apparently when the police came, he tried to flee, and then he hit a cop. Like, they wound up catching him, and he apparently is facing like 5 years per charge. So we'll see how that goes. My thing is, are you dumb? Like, are you stupid? You made it to the NFL. You have a beautiful girlfriend. What are you doing? Even if it doesn't even work out with y'all, you're in the NFL making millions of dollars. You just threw your life away for what? Like, just stupid. Sometimes I'd be like, bro, the wrong people get famous. Like, the wrong people sometimes get opportunities. Now, he worked for it, obviously, but like, what we doing, bro? You just threw your life away for nothing.
Took 7 cops to arrest Falcons James.
These James Pearce Jr. arrest details are crazy, And according to the police, this man is lucky to even be alive. Now, we all know James Pearce Jr. of the Atlanta Falcons got arrested last night. But over the night, there's been more and more details coming out. And the person most knowledgeable about the situation is Andy Slater, who's been giving out several details about this story, starting off by saying this. James Pearce Jr. is accused of intentionally crashing his Lamborghini into his ex-girlfriend's car multiple times, trying to stop her from getting to a police station, sources tell me. This entire situation started after Pearce Jr. allegedly stalked his ex from his car and tried to get into her car at the intersection, I'm told. She sped away, but he continued to go after her. Now, that's already bad enough, and I thought that was the end of it. But then even more details came out. James Pearce Jr. also intentionally drove into a police officer, hitting the cop's knee in an effort to get away, I'm told. The Atlanta Falcons linebacker is lucky to be alive after that, a high-ranking police officer said. So this situation is all types of messed up. You had James Pearce Jr. just a couple days ago at an NFL award show being honored. His mother gave a beautiful speech till today where he's allegedly chasing down his girlfriend and disobeying the police. This is crazy. What do you guys think? I'll keep you updated, but let me know what you think in the comments.
Now, I usually don't do videos on Sundays, but I had to do this right here. This dude here, his name is James Pearce Jr. James Pearce Jr. literally was somebody who just got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Great edge player. Amazing. I thought he was going to be one of those guys that was going to excel beyond expectations, because I'm a Gator fan. So I've been watching this kid when he was at Tennessee, so I know like what he can do. And this idiot yesterday got arrested for domestic violence against Rickea Jackson. Now, for those that don't know who Rickea Jackson is a star for the Los Angeles Sparks, for the WNBA Los Angeles Sparks. She's also one of the star players for the Breeze basketball club in the Unrivaled League. Great player. One of the great players. She's amazing. And this idiot yesterday was arrested for domestic for basically domestic violence towards her. And the story goes, these two were dating. It was pretty public because like she was with him when he got drafted. They were dating, and he in July of 2025, apparently they called it off. And this guy here was somebody, I guess, that couldn't get enough or whatever. I don't really understand the circumstances, but at the same time, I really don't care, bro. Under no situation you should be putting your hands on a woman. Now, I can understand, like, if it's a situation where it's life or death. Like, if a woman is threatening your life and you legitimately feel like your life is in danger, you ain't gonna get no gripes from me. But at the same time, that's something that rarely happens, where a situation like that where it's life and death. That's really like the only time I can logically see it. But a situation like this, where you and this woman ain't seeing eye to eye, or you and this woman called it off, and you basically go to her house, and one of the charges he got charged with was stalking this girl. And then when it comes to the police trying to arrest you, you went on a high-speed chase from the police. and it took like 10 people to bring you down or whatever. But all of this, bro, just to ruin your life. Haven't you heard about Ray Rice? It's so crazy to me that these young boys don't learn from history. Darren Lee, haven't you heard about Aaron Hernandez? James Pearce Jr., have you heard about Ray Rice? This is recent history. And you work this hard in your life to throw your life away, to throw your career away over something that could have been avoided. And you got these bozo men in the comment section making excuses for this. And that's what's wrong with society. A lot of you men in the world, y'all won't stand up and be men and call this out. Because a lot of y'all are like James Pearce. That's why the majority of y'all men was taken up for that scumbag P. Diddy. Because y'all just like him. Y'all just like this dude. I don't give a darn, bro. What the excuse, like, it's no circumstances you should put your hands on a woman, bro. None. And the reason I'm so adamant about this is because of people in my lineage witnessed this when they were kids, and they still affected by this from their parent getting abused. So I don't take this stuff lightly, bro. It's time for men to step up and call this BS out. Call this dude out. Under no circumstance this should be accepted. None. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of you men, y'all weak. Y'all make excuses for stuff like this. It's crazy. Just to, like, you work that hard in your life to throw it away over something that you could have walked away from.
Let's have a serious conversation about the domestic violence amongst athletes and their significant others and what it truly means to date someone of this caliber in this specific field of work. First things first, to the men specifically. When women come out and accuse men of either sexual assault or domestic violence, I want you guys to stop and take a second, and instead of your first reaction being, that's my friend, that's so-and-so, I know him, he would never do that. I need you to understand that people that think that they aren't being watched in the privacy of their own home will do things that they would never do publicly. That's kind of the whole premise of the issue. We already know when it comes to dating, both men and women act differently in public with their significant other than they do when it's just them and their significant other. That is like a known thing. So logically, the whole, well, he wouldn't do that, he wouldn't do that. You wouldn't know if he wouldn't do that because one, you're not in his dating pool, and two, he's actively taking every step possible to avoid you knowing this information about him. Domestic violence, sexual assault, these things are done in intimate settings and most importantly, private settings. You cannot vouch for someone when you don't know what they do in their privacy when they think that no one is watching. To the ladies, dating an athlete, collegiate, professional, etc., means that you are dating a man that has typically not been told no a lot in their lifetime. They are not used to being told no. Dating an athlete means that you're dating someone that has typically had everything done for them up to this point in their life. Their laundry is done for them. Their meals are prepared for them. Their college schedules are done for them. Their, adult schedules are made for them. These are people that don't have to really exert much energy as much energy as the average person to do things and for things to just like happen in their life, right? Then you combine all of that and you add in that you're dating someone with access to a substantial amount of money, but most importantly, you are dating someone that trains twice a day and could really cause great harm and great damage to you if they pleased. If that's what they wanted to do, that would be an easy feat for them. Then add in, this is football specific, add in the fact that these people are being hit directly in the head frequently. Then you take the fact that the average man, athlete or not, does not have the emotional intelligence of the average woman. It's not a good mixture.
So you have all these things coinciding at once. You have these overly strong men, you have these emotionally intelligent men, and then you have these entitled men that have access to a lot of money and thus have access to lawyers, and in their past have been the exception to many rules. They don't have to follow the rules of the average person, okay? This is what I mean. This is a recipe for disaster. Now, specifically about the James Pearce Jr. incident and his abuse towards Rickea Jackson, allegedly. Let's break down the situation. James Pearce Jr. is right now being accused of stalking and harassing Rickea Jackson to the point where she felt it necessary to physically flee the home and physically go up to the police station. And in an attempt to stop her from going to the police station, this man ran his vehicle into hers. He's physically doing everything in his power to stop her from going to the police station. So he has repeatedly hit and wrecked both his and her vehicles. Upon the police catching wind of this, they are trying to stop him, whatever, and then a police chase ensues, right? This man is evading the police. He's running from the police. When the police catch him, he is actively fighting multiple officers. There's like 4 or 5 officers on top of this man. I would encourage everyone to go look at the video. And I need you guys to understand the severity of this. If this man has crashed his vehicle into this girl's car to stop her from going to the police, and he is running from police and has caused a police chase, and then when the police catch him, he's still actively fighting multiple male police officers, please think about what he was doing in privacy to that girl in the privacy of their home. If this is how he's acting in public, I cannot fathom how he was acting in private. Now, before this incident occurred, Rickea Jackson would post on her social media platform saying that she's single, but then fans would see James Pearce Jr. in the stands. This kind of, when I'm thinking, it coincides with the harassment charge, but let me not assume. Sometimes when people break up, there's a lot of on and off. So you have that situation. On top of, Rickea Jackson has recently, if you pay attention to WNBA, she was out for 2 weeks and it was listed as personal reasons. So all of these things coinciding together and the timing of it all, it makes you think, what all was that woman dealing with in the privacy of her home? Like, this man was putting her through hell. I just went back and looked at the video of his arrest, and it was 7 officers attempting to arrest this man, and he's fighting everybody. It took 7 officers to get this man under control and put him in handcuffs. And I want y'all to know what this means and how severe this is. This man was abusing a public figure. And I know you're saying, like, oh, well, it doesn't matter who they're abusing, but I want you to think about this. He's actively abusing someone that is a public figure. This woman has access to money. She has a lot more resources than the average person does just because of the position she's in. But he's abusing someone that's regularly on camera. He did not care if she showed up with bruises or broken whatever the case may be. It never crossed his mind like, hey, she can't be in public seen with this because I'm going to get in trouble. He has abused this woman to the point where he's not even thinking about his own well-being. That's how crazy the situation is. And if this is what a celebrity is going through, understand it would be 100 times worse for a regular woman without those resources, without the money, and without the public attention, okay? That is how severe this is. It's already severe for this celebrity, but it would be 10 times worse for a regular woman that didn't have access to these things. Now, I'm a tall girl, so when it comes to dating, it can be a little difficult for me to find men that are taller than me, right? And so the question comes up often. People ask, well, Jordan, why you need to date an athlete? Why don't you date athletes? That is why I don't date athletes. I will not do that. I've seen too much, and just thinking of the statistics and the data and the likelihood that I could end up in that situation, because this is an issue that is more prevalent amongst this group of people, I want no parts. Now, like I said, this is not conducive of all athletes. It's not even all football players. It's not all basketball players. But because of the circumstances and how these people have gone through life, like I mentioned before, not being told no often and having access to a lot of things and just always being the exception to rules, those things being in place increase the opportunities and the chances that an athlete would act in such a way. And so for my sanity, that is why I do not date athletes. As always, what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.